So hi, next topic is nothing but fallacy. Fallacies are again a very important topic in this module. So now we will deal with now we will deal with what are the different kinds of fallacies and all. So see these statements: dogs bark, trees have bark. So I'm saying trees are dogs. Is there any sense in that? It's completely wrong, right? It's a fallacy because I might have misinterpreted the term bark, or okay, it's completely wrong. So that is a fallacy. And say another type: Aishwarya Roy uses Lux. We are all big fans of her. So she's a big star. So she uses Lux, and I say that I use Lux, and I'm concluding. So I will win the Miss World. That is actually a fallacy. It's an error statement. See, she had talents, she was very smart, she was very confident. There are many other factors that made her win Miss World. It is not just she uses Lux. So that doesn't make any sense. So such statements or such conclusions that you bring from this arguments are called as fallacies. So there are different types of fallacies. You will deal with that. Okay, arguments are fallacious in three different ways. One is material. That is, I'm saying that India has 25 million COVID cases. That is wrong. It is a mistake in the content or the material. The value might be different. Okay. So then comes verbal. That is, the incorrect use of terms. I'm using some words instead of the other, or some meaning related issues that occurs in the arguments. That is the word or the word related. I can say word or phrase related errors. They are known as the verbal causing fallacies. Then we have formal fallacies, which we will study in detail. These are fallacies that are caused by the error in structure, that comes through the improper process of inference or reference. Okay, so that issues in the structure. So we will see that in detail now. Error in form or the arrangement or the technical structure of the terms or the premises and the conclusion, they bring formal fallacies. Here, whether the conclusion is true or false, that is not an issue. Only the structure should be proper. Okay. So there are actually 6 types of formal fallacies that you have to learn. One is the illicit conversion, bad reason fallacy, non sequitur fallacy, the appeal to authority fallacy, masked man fallacy, and existential fallacy. So we will see one by one. See, what is everything is given in one slide, so it will be easy for you to learn. Illicit conversion. What is that? I am saying all P are Q. Okay, that is my argument, my premise, and I am saying all Q are P. Is that correct? No, right? Because I can say all chicken are birds or all hen are birds. Okay, that's true. But can I say the just opposite? All birds are chicken? No, I have crows, I have peacock, I have quails, I have lot of other birds too. So that is actually not okay to do this. So this type of errors are called illicit conversion. So I am saying all students are intelligent, and I am saying all intelligent people are students. Is that okay to say that? No, it's wrong. Okay. Then comes bad reason fallacy. Bad reason fallacy means the reason I am giving for a conclusion, or why I am giving that conclusion, that reason is wrong, or it is a bad reason. I am saying dogs are afraid of height, therefore dogs cannot fly. See, is it because dogs are afraid of height they cannot fly? No, they don't have wings, they are not birds to fly, they are 4-legged animals, those who walk. So they cannot fly. It's not because they are afraid of height. Okay. If I am not afraid of height, can I fly? No, because I don't have wings or I am not a bird to fly. Okay. So this is a bad reason fallacy. Okay. Another example is ostrich cannot fly, therefore ostrich are not birds. Is it okay to say that? No. Okay. So they are bad reason fallacy. Then comes non sequitur fallacy. Non sequitur fallacy means invalid argument whose conclusion is not supported by the premise. I am putting some, I am giving an argument, it's invalid because the conclusion is not supported by the premise. For example, I am saying that I had a music teacher in the elementary school. She was crazy. And I am saying that all music teachers are crazy. Is it okay to say that? The statement is never supported by this. I am telling about just a single music teacher and telling that all teachers are crazy. See, this usually happens in many day to day situations. Like, we take one person and we generalize and we say that, okay, this is not. Another example is that um, even before cigarettes were invented, there was cancer, right? Cancer was from the very beginning of the human life. Okay, so I'm saying that there was cancer before cigarettes were invented, and I say cigarettes does not cause cancer. Is that acceptable? No, cigarettes are a catalyst to cause cancer. So that is a bad premise there for the conclusion. Okay, so such examples, such issues are called as non-sequitur fallacy. Then comes the appeal to authoritative fallacy. This means you rely too much on the opinion of one person, especially when that person validates something outside his or her, outside his or her expertise. Okay, that is, for example, you are asked by one of your favorite film star. He says that if you apply some turmeric on your skin, the COVID virus will die. And you listen to that. You feel that that person is my favorite film star and he's a hero, and he says that, you believe. That is appeal to authority fallacy. Or sometimes a very famous person comes and say, you have to eat some particular leaf so that you can get rid of COVID virus. And that you are a very big fan of that person, or you feel that person is an authoritative person and you start believing that. That is appeal to authority fallacy. Okay. Then you have masked man fallacy. Masked man fallacy, it's a bit confusing when I'll explain. There are two persons. One is the masked man and the other one is father. Okay. You know your father and you know the masked man. A man is putting a mask and standing there. You saw that man and you know that man, and you know your father. Okay. So you conclude. So you don't know who is behind the masked man and who is behind the mask. You don't know, but you know your father. You're concluding, the masked man is not my father. But there are chances, no, your father may put a mask and come. Okay, you'll understand in whatever form your father comes, you'll know. But there are chances behind the mask, your father may be there. But you're concluding, the masked man is not my father is not my masked man. You're concluding that. Okay. But there is a chance, or there are chances that sometimes the masked man can be your father. Okay, that is masked man fallacy. Or otherwise you can say, some people fake. Okay, so you say that you know that person is of so and so character, and that person is showing to be someone else, but that person has actually one particular character. That person is masking to you. So in that case you call it as masked man fallacy. So such type of errors are called as masked man fallacy. Okay. Then comes existential fallacy. It is like, one presupposes that a class has a particular members. Actually it is not like that. That is, you have said that all to some. This is not right. Like, you say all SRP. Okay, and you say some SRP. Okay. One example is, you say all babysitters have pimples, and the other one is all babysitter club members are babysitters. Sorry, I'll rub this and write. This is like, you have two universal premise which comes to the same conclusion. All babysitters have pimples. And then you are saying all babysitter club members are babysitter club members. There's some particular club, they are babysitters. And you're saying some babysitter club members have pimples. Actually, all of them have pimples, right? See, all the babysitter club members are babysitters and they have pimples. All of them have. But in the conclusion, you are saying only that some babysitter club members have pimples. So, this all are all SRP, and you are saying that, or you are concluding that only some SRP. So, that is actually a fallacy. What belongs to the whole, you are saying that only some. Okay. So, in that case, you call it as an existential fallacy. So, these are the different types of formal fallacy. For the UGC NET exams, you will be given a particular example or a particular argument or a particular case, and you will be asked what type of fallacy is this, or you will be given a definition of any of the fallacy, and you will be asked what kind of fallacy is this. So, you have to understand what each of the fallacies. Okay. So, go through the examples and understand what each of the fallacies. Okay. Now, let's see what informal fallacies are. This does not deal with the structure of the fallacy, but this deals with the logic or the meaning or other mistakes that we commonly make, not with the structure or the form, but with the language, the fact or the opinion, how you misinterpret that, the presuppositions you have, and the illogical sequence of thoughts. All these form the informal fallacies. So, we will see which are the different informal fallacies. First one is the ad ignorantium. Ad ignorantium. Ad ignorantium means if you are not aware of something, you say it is false. A very typical example that normally the books or websites give us, nothing controversial. I mean, don't take it beyond the scope of the example. Someone says that I haven't seen God. I haven't seen God, or I don't know, I haven't experienced the presence, so there is no God. Okay. So, such kind of, and I say that I haven't seen a film star, say for Amitabh Bachchan, and I haven't seen, there is no person like Amitabh Bachchan. That is ad ignorantium. You are not aware of some things, or you are ignorant about that things, and you say it is not there. Okay, that is ad ignorantium. Then comes fallacy of equivocation, where words or sentence, such issues come. That is, you are saying feather is light. So, if there is no light, you say it is dark. So, feather is light, so it is not dark. Light means in one way it is of less weight, and the other case it is of, there is not dark, that is some brightness is there. So, in that way also, carbon is an organic compound. Carbon is organic. I say carbon is organic, and I say my carrot is organic. Or consider it in the reverse order. Organic contains carbon. Organic compounds contain carbon. Or I say my carrot is organic, and I am concluding that my vegetable is carbon. Okay. So, in that way, mistakes that we make carrot contains some amount of carbon, hydrogen and all those things, but it's not the case. I am saying my carrot is full of carbon. That's not true, because that word carbon means it is only that molecule, it's not that fully carbon. Okay. So, such ways where you make mistakes when using the words, phrase or sentence, that causes fallacy of equivocation. Okay. Then comes ad populum, all agree, so you also agree. One of the examples that we daily say or do is, everyone disobey traffic rules. So, I will also. Okay. Is that okay? No, that's actually a fallacy. See, everyone disobeys something means it will not be, it is not okay to do that. So, that is a fallacy. So, once a question was there, stating a girl's name something, and her mother asked her to go to the party since everyone was going to the party. So, that is ad populum. If everyone does so, you also have to do that. Okay, that is at populum. In that way you can remember that. Then ad verecundiam, that is appeal to authority. That is something like our uh, the appeal to authority fallacy. That is, again, if some person is saying something and you are blindly believing that is ad verecundiam. Okay, don't forget that. Then comes fallacy of hasty generalization. This is like, take an example. Your boyfriend cheated you. My boyfriend cheated me, and I am concluding all boys cheat. One person cheated me and I am saying that all boys are cheaters, they will cheat everyone. So that is a hasty generalization. You are jumping into a conclusion without inadequate evidence. Based on a single evidence, you are telling everyone, you are generalizing. That is fallacy of hasty generalization. Then comes straw man fallacy, that is twisted arguments. Okay, you twist something. One person says something and you are twisting that. That is called as straw man fallacy. For example, your mom says, or you tell to your child that you have no ice creams. You can have no ice creams until you eat the veggies. Okay. So your child says that you only love me when you eat, or you tell to your mom, you only love me when I eat. See, you told him that you'll get the ice cream only when you eat the veggies, and the person who hears that, he manipulates or twists it into saying that you love me only when I eat the vegetables. So that is straw man fallacy. So you're twisting the arguments. Okay. Then comes fallacy of slippery slope. This is like, you start from a point, you start assuming things, and you go on assuming things. Okay, that is this fallacy of slippery slope is otherwise called as edge of the wedge or camel nose fallacy. Also remember these names. That is, you start assuming things and you cannot stop. Okay. Say for example, you leave your child outside. So the child is not locked in a room. You are sending your child outside. You feel that if your child comes outside, he will roam in the neighborhood. If he roam in the neighborhood, somebody will see her, some neighbors will see her, and the neighbor will kidnap her and will sell her to slavery. So you are keeping on imagining things. See, actually this is an unnecessary thought process, right? If you have to send your child outside, that child has to know the social things and all. You have to just keep an eye on the child. But instead of that, what you feel is, if you send the child outside, the child will roam in the neighborhood, somebody will see the child, somebody will kidnap the child and will sell her to slavery, and so you keep on assuming things. So that kind of issues are called fallacy of slippery slope. Don't forget, once an example was given, like there's a hospital, and the hospital, the nurses do not wear white clothes, the medicines are expensive, so the treatment is not good, so the treatment is not good. That is also a fallacy of slippery slope. You start assuming things and come to worse conclusions. Okay. Then comes fallacy of middle ground. One minute. Fallacy of middle ground means you have two extreme points and you are coming to some conclusion from that. Okay, from both of this you are coming to some conclusion, and that conclusion is something not acceptable. So in that case you say that is a fallacy of middle ground. Actually that conclusion is also not accepted. Something like civil rights on one side, and something like some person says you have to kill another person for that. So whatever conclusions you bring, that is not valid, right? So the conflicting points are there, no? So in that case you put some conclusions also, that is also not true. So that such kind of fallacy are called fallacy of middle ground. Then there are two more fallacies. They are red herring fallacy. Okay, again a funny example. A child and her mother are going for shopping, and the child says, "Mom, I want a toy." I want a teddy. So the mother says, come home soon, there is a yummy treat for you, there's some ice cream for you. So actually the mother is diverting the child or redirecting the child to another issue. I mean another thing. So there is a child is asking for a teddy bear and the mother says, see, I have kept you some yummy treat at home, let's go home soon. This is normally sometimes said to be done by the politicians when you are asking something to them about a particular concern for the people of the nation. They start telling about something else. So there what they are performing is red herring fallacy. Then comes fallacy of ad hominem, which means personal attack. You are attacking the person, like something like a body shaming or some personal. You are putting some personal issues and hurting that person through words. That is fallacy of ad hominem. Okay, thank you. So that's all about fallacies. So learn these fallacies and syllogism very well. Okay, thank you.